Greetings everyone, welcome back to my channel Data Sculptor. Today I am going to make a series of videos which contains some basic SQL questions. So I will be covering around 50 SQL questions, and if you are able to answer all these 50 questions, so it will be easy for you to crack interviews which are having less than 3 years experience. So these 50 questions should help you crack any basic SQL interview. So I will be making it into 5 parts, 10 questions each. So I request everyone to watch till the end to gain knowledge. So if you are an experienced person, so as say if you are having experience greater than 3 years, I don't think this video is good for you. But if you are a newbie and if you want to enter into the data field and are looking to crack SQL interviews, I suggest you to watch all these 5 videos till the end. Let's start the questions. So the first question is, we need to write an SQL query to fetch the first name from the worker table using the alias name as worker name. So in this table worker, you need to retrieve the first name from this worker table using the alias name as worker name. So this is a very simple question. So to retrieve the first name from the worker table, we need to use the select from worker, and we want to fetch the first name. So this is the first name. So in the select we will mention the column names whatever we want. So select first name, and we want that to be referred as the worker name. So the alias the first name should be called as worker name. So here we will give this select first name as worker name from worker, and if you execute this, this is what you get. So the first name present in this worker table, you are referring it, you are calling aliasing it as worker name. So this is the first question, very simple SQL query. So the second question is, you need to write an SQL query to fetch first name from the worker table in uppercase. So earlier when we ran this first name, you are not getting everything in uppercase, right? So in this John is completely not in uppercase. So you want all the alphabets in this word to be in uppercase. So for that, what we need to do is select, again the same, select from worker, and here we want the first name to be in uppercase. So upper is a function, and first underscore name. So if you just use the upper function on the first name column, you will get all of them in uppercase. So if you see, all the all the alphabets in the first name word are in uppercase. So this is how you convert the alphabets in a text to uppercase. So here if you see the column name, there is no column name, because when you apply a function on a column name, it does not have any column name. So to get a column name, here I will use as. So as is aliasing. So first name. So if you alias this as a first name or whatever you want, you can alias it, and then if you run it, you will get the all this names in capital letters in uppercase, the first name as it first name. So the third question is, write an SQL query to fetch unique values of department from worker table. So we have to fetch the unique values, that means the distinct values of a column from a table. So first we will write the select from worker, and we want distinct department. So we have to use the distinct keyword, distinct department. So select distinct department from worker will give you all the unique values of the department column from worker table. So if you do not use the distinct keyword, you will get repeated values. So if you run this, this is what you get. So these are the 5 departments present in the worker table, and if you remove the distinct keyword and if you just run this, you get all the rows in the department table, and you are just retrieving the department column. But here it specifically mentioned unique, we have to use the distinct keyword. So this is the simple query to retrieve the unique values of a department column. So the fourth question is, we need to write an SQL query to print the first 3 characters of first name from worker table. So we have the first name column in the worker table, but just instead of printing the entire text, we need to just print the first 3 characters. So in order to achieve this, we need to use the substring function. So select from worker, and here substring function. So substring function has 3 parameters. The first parameter is the column name. So here the column name is first underscore name, and the second parameter is the index of the string where you need to start from. So since it is the first 3, you need to start from 1, and you want 3 characters, right? So the third argument is from the starting position you have mentioned. Here it is the 1. How many characters of the string do you want? So here we want 3 characters. So from 1 we need to take 3 characters. So first name, so if you see substring, if you hover on it, you see the parameters. Expression means the column, the starting position, the second parameter is the starting position, and third is the length. From the starting position, how many characters you want to extract. So if you run this, this is the output you get. So JOH for John, JAN, Rob, and all. So this is how you extract the first 3 characters of the first name. The fifth question is, you need to write an SQL query to find the position of alphabet O in the first name column Robert from worker table. So in the first name column, wherever you have the value Robert, in that word Robert, you need to find the position of O in this text. So in order to find the position, we need to use the char index function. So select char index of, so if you see, there are 2 parameters, 2 main parameters. First is the search expression. So search expression here is alphabet O, and second parameter is expression to be searched. So here expression to be searched is the first name column, and the start location is not a required column, so we can leave it blank. So first here O, and the second parameter is first name. So first underscore name from worker, and here it is mentioned the first name column Robert. So here value is Robert is mentioned, so we need to use the where condition. So where condition will filter you the data from the table. So here where first underscore name is equal to Robert. So here first name Robert, if there is data, this particular query will return you the data, will return you the first name, and in that first name you need to find the position of this character O. So in Robert the value is 2. So when you run this query, you need to return 2 as the output. So this is how you calculate the position of an alphabet. So this is calculated using the char index function. So the sixth question, we need to write an SQL query to print the first name from worker table after removing white spaces from the right side. So I have deliberately added some white spaces. So in column John, I have added some white spaces here after the text and before the text. Also for Jane, I have added some values before the text, and for Robert, I have added some values after the text, some white spaces after the text. So the question is, you need to remove these white spaces from the first name column, which is present after the text. So here the question is removing white spaces from the right side. Okay. So what we need to use is, we need to use the function called rtrim. So first name comma rtrim of first underscore name from worker. Okay. So if you run this, so Robert initially has some spaces. So if I just copy this text and paste it here, if you see while pasting there are some empty spaces. So the cursor is here. So from T till this position, these are empty spaces. So now if I copy this after applying the rtrim function, I'll just get the cursor after T. That means we have the rtrim has successfully removed the white spaces from the right side. So the next question is, we need to write an SQL query to print the first name from worker table after removing white spaces from the left side. So in the earlier question, we have removed the white spaces from the right side. So now we have to remove the white spaces from the left side. So earlier when removing the white spaces from right side, we have used the rtrim function. So now we will be using the ltrim function. So select first underscore name comma ltrim of first underscore name from worker. So when you run this, this is what you get. So initially for Jane, I have added some spaces before the J, and after applying the ltrim, the spaces present before the Jane are removed. So now let's copy the text and see. So I have copied the Jane from the first name, and if I paste it here, we see some extra spaces are present before J. And now if I copy this after removing the characters, only this is present. So we have ltrim is able to successfully remove the white spaces from the left side. So the next question is, we need to write an SQL query that fetches the unique values of department from worker table and prints its length. So we want to find the unique values of department. So that means, as discussed earlier, we need to use the distinct keyword here. So distinct keyword will help us retrieve the unique values of department. So distinct department from worker, okay, and also print its length. So to print its length, we need to use the len function. So len function and access the parameter as a column. So we pass the column name as a parameter here as length. And now if you run this, we will get two columns, department and the length of the department. So here for finance, the length is 7, for HR it is 2, for IT it is 2, and for marketing it is 9, and for sales it is 5. So in this way, we will retrieve the distinct departments, the unique values of a department, and also we print its length. So the next question is, we need to write an SQL query to print the first name from worker table after replacing the lowercase a with the uppercase a. So we have the first name column, and in that, wherever in each of the row, wherever the value lowercase a is present, it should be replaced with uppercase a. So we have to use the replace function. So select from worker, and I'll use the first name, and in the second column I'll use the replace function. So replace has three parameters. First one is the column which we need to pass. So here it is the first name, and the second parameter is the value which you are searching, which you need to replace. So small a, lowercase a, and third parameter is the character with which you want to replace. You need to replace with the uppercase a, and this is how you write the replace function. And once you run this, this is how you get. So in the first column, in the first row, John, there is no lowercase a, so it is written the same. In the second row, Jane, a is there, lowercase a is there, it is replaced with the uppercase a. And also for, if you see row number 5, Michael, it is replaced with the a is again here replaced. And Sarah, here you have two small a's, two lowercase a's, it is replaced with two uppercases. So the next question is, you need to write an SQL query to print the first name and last name from worker table into a single column complete name. So the condition is a space character should separate them. So we need to concatenate the first name and the last name, and between the first name and last name we need to add the space. So this is how we write it in SQL. So select from worker, and here the first name, we can use the plus operator, and we add a space, and again plus, and last underscore name as complete name, complete underscore name. So what we have done, the first name we have taken, and we can apply a first add, and then a space, and then plus last name, and if you run this, you get the complete name. So you can also do it using the concat function. So select concat of first name. So the first parameter is the first string, the second parameter is the space, and the third parameter is the last name as complete name from worker. And if you run this, again you will get the same output. So these are the two ways where you can concatenate multiple columns and show it as a single column.